Popular. Cassie, you better run, girl. D Woods, you better run, girl. Don Richard, you better run, baby. You better run, and you better run far. Diddy coming to the crib. Diddy coming to the crib. Baby Love said, not my daddy. Mhm. Correct. Baby Love said, not my father. Not this good organization that we put together. I told the prosecution that if they would have went and got Baby Love, that they would have been able to prove that this was Rico. That's what that were. That's what they were. Okay. Now Diddy did not get found guilty on the RICO charges. Okay. The gay man in there, the 51-year-old said bullshit. Okay. He did not do this. He did not do this because I done did a little piece of this stuff before. That's what the gay man was in there saying. And it was like, look, ain't nothing wrong with buying a little bussy. Ain't nothing wrong with throwing them a few dollars. That's just what that were. Why y'all putting so much on it? Okay? Because that's all he was found guilty of. Okay? Is prostitution, transportation, transporting hoes, boats and hoes. Is what correct? Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Is what he got charged with. That's just what that were. Cassie, I'm gonna need you to use that a lawsuit money to buy you a little island near Bermuda. Okay, out there a little piece of that triangle. Cause he coming for you. Cassie, you and Alex run. You, Alex, and them three churn. Y'all need to go. Y'all need to go. We need to get them up out of the world, Craig. We need to send them out there to that a hotel space. Girl. Because now I'm sure that Cassie sitting over there talking about some, I forgive you. Sean, I forgive you. Because, yeah. Savannah, he's a good man. Because, girl, he is coming for you. Now, Aubrey sat over there with her 17th face and said the same thing. She said that she is very afraid of Diddy getting out and that she would definitely leave the country again. That's what she said. That's what she said. And D Woods said the same thing. D Woods, I'm going to need you to believe yourself. I'm going to need you to believe you when you said that you would be scared if he got out. Run. Cassie, you better not, girl. Before you drink anything again, eat anything again, let a few people taste it before you. Cassie, tell Alex to try it first. Correct. No matter where you at. All right? Tell Alex to take a couple pieces. Tell Alex, try this. It's hot. See if it's hot. And see if it's hot. Drink this drink. See if it's cold. See if some alcohol in it. Because, yeah, I would be very afraid. Diddy's reputation is everything to him. It's been everything to him. If you know Diddy, you know reputation is everything. And they have ruined it. Okay? Now, he can do damage control. He can. Because he was not found guilty of those charges, which, again, I've been saying from jump. I feel like some of the charges he'll be found guilty for. But I don't think that he's going to be charged with all of them. I don't think he's going to be charged with all of them. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Now, Diddy about to go into the crib. Let's get into this. So it says, Sean Combs' verdict. Count 1, Rico. Not guilty. Prosecution. When would he get out, Sean? Tasha, he should be getting out soon until his sentencing. Now, I don't think they're holding him until sentencing because now if he would have got charged with the RICO charge, then I think that they would have held him probably until sentencing. because he hasn't been sentenced yet. So we don't know exactly like how much time he's gonna be facing and whatnot until that happens. So as of right now, he's just been charged. Now they can release him based off the charges that he's been charged with because they're not like flee the country, type of charges. It's just like, oh, okay, I can deal with that, because politicians and stuff get found guilty of these behind the scenes all the time. Before they swept it under the rug. Hi, low key boo. I love y'all. Hey, Ariel and JB, Baby Shay, all y'all. I love y'all. So now it says SCX After King with Cassie not guilty. They said Cassie was a madam. Cassie was a madam. It's hard to transport the madam girl. That's just what that word. What are you? Are you a worker? Are you employing them? Cassie. Girl, they said no. Cassie, the jury said no. The jury said no, that's the hoe right there. No. That ain't no victim. The jury said victim. The jury said victim. Victim. When you willingly lay down your back and when all the men go pee 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 like no, you did that by yourself. Okay. Victim. No, that was just sitting over there with that urine. Oh yeah, black guys. Oh yeah. Victim. Did nobody tell you to use urine as mouthwash, girl? Victim. Did nobody tell you to take the men's semen and then it did it? So he can lick it off. La 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 like a lollipop. Victim. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. Now in count 3, transportation. They said yes. He was transporting hoes. He absolutely was. Now that's what that word. And that was in the Cassie's case. And it says yes. He did that. He did. Because she was for hire. Or she was for hire. So then they said SCX African and Jane. No, they said he didn't do that. That's what that word. They said he didn't do that neither. They said no. He didn't do that. She was a hoe. Transportation of Jane. Count 5. Guilty. He was traveling that whole around. That's what that word. That's what they said. Correct. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Thank you so much, Lucky, for the cash app. I love you, girl. Mwah. Thank you so much, babes. I love you. Oh, girl. So, Cassie run for the border. So now Diddy's charges collectively gather up to about 10 years. I was going to pull that up real quick so we can read that. About 10 years. But other than that, Diddy is a free man. Now, I don't know exactly how they're planning on holding him until sentencing. I don't know if they're going to remand him in custody or if they're going to release him. I think it's a high probability that they're going to release him because there would be no reason to hold him. Now, the RICO charges, those federal charges, I would understand. They were like, yeah, you ain't going nowhere. We're going to hold you right here just like they did before. But now, I don't feel like they're going to do that. They don't have a reason to. They don't have a reason to. Bond, possibly, but I don't see a reason for them to bond either. I don't see a reason that they wouldn't just let him out on his own remand. Like I don't see what he would be bonding for, at this point. I mean, he could be. He could. If you want to get out quick, if they're just saying like, look, okay, we'll let you out, but you're gonna have to bond, and whatnot, and I'm a girl. I could see that. I could see that. But overall, I could also see them just releasing him because he's already been in jail for going on a year. You know, pretty soon, September would have marked a year. And so I could have seen that too. Police hit the like. So, yeah. This is crazy work. This is crazy work. But what happened to all the people? He ain't going to jail though. He going to jail though. He going to jail. He going to jail. I'm like, you sure? Because based off of how, again, prosecution set up this case, he wasn't going to jail. He wasn't going to jail. I'm like, y'all are proving nothing. Because I'm sitting here, and again, because people say that too, like, oh, well, y'all not lawyers. We don't. Why would we have to be? See, I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Correct. You want to know why you stupid? And I'm not stupid. Because a jury decides his fate, not attorneys. Besides putting a defense together and putting a case together. They present. That's it. But the ultimate decision is held to people like me. Yeah, I don't have any felonies. So I can be on the jury. Correct. Jurors. Everyday people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stupid bitches. Yeah. And y'all thought y'all was saying something. What? Yeah. It's not 12 lawyers sitting there in that jury. Yeah. It's not. Diddy may have had 12 attorneys. But they wasn't sitting inside of the jury. Those is everyday people. And you're mad. Correct. Whether they gay, whether they straight, whether they whatever. Fat, old, bald. Like, educated, not educated. Be idiots in that jury. Straight idiots inside of it. I'm not one of those people. So, yeah. Anyways, so based off what the prosecution was presenting when it came to the RICO charge of the company being involved, it being an enterprise, they never sold me. I was never sold like, okay, well, this person definitely knew. I would say about one person, Christina, KK. She would be the only person that I would be like, okay, I think she knew more than what she's leading on. But everybody else could have just been simply doing their job. You know, their boss told them to do this, their boss told them to do that, they do it. The prosecution never proved you doing this, that this person did this because this is a criminal organization. This person took this money knowing that this crime was happening, that this person was being held against their will. But it's like, what? Because that's what I was expecting. I didn't hear any of that. They were confused by that. I'm like, well, you taking a few dollars and saying that since you gave this person a few dollars, and then Cassie, the madam, gave the person, the escort, a few dollars, that this is classified as, okay, but then she need to go to jail. She still did it. She still did it. So she was selling for him, a short name for him, and she was doing it because he was telling her to, and she was scared. Is she still not in trouble? Is she still not in trouble? Hello? But she get to sell ass. She get to buy ass. Or she get to buy peen though. Why? From different area codes at that. So I said, oh, you got your name? Cassie. Well, lock her up and throw away the key. Him too. They can go in cells next to each other. As far as I'm concerned. Yes. As far as I'm concerned, put them in the same cell. So, hello. But you can't really pin this on him without getting her. If you let her go, gotta let him go too. Because now it looks like a witch hunt. Now it looks like you targeting him because you're giving everybody exoneration and immunity from these charges but him. When other people should be going to jail too if it's an enterprise. I'm like, why is no one else? Why is charge not being brought up on anybody else? This is stupid. Because how are you proving this is an enterprise if you're only blaming one person, prosecution? If y'all only bring charges up on one person, how is this an enterprise? Hello, hello. Because all of the people y'all want to use to get who y'all view the big fish, who would be Diddy, you want to give all of them immunity. You want to say that all of you guys are innocent. You guys are fine. We just want him. Okay, well, now it looks like a witch hunt. Now it looks like you're going after him. So now the men and the jury especially are going to feel like personally attacked. Now the men are going to feel personally attacked. Oh, they only doing this because he a man. And, da da da. Did the women wanted it? They was getting money and gifts and all of that. And da 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 da. Then it seemed like when it cut him off, now all of a sudden he a criminal. I'm like, well, that's dumb. Like, that, I would go that route. Go a route to where you're arresting more people. Because if more people are getting charges brought upon them, then it gives me the perception as a juror, if I was a juror, they'd be like, oh, okay, this has to be enterprise because they bring charges up on multiple y'all. Figure y'all. Yeah, y'all going to jail. Yeah, so it's like, I would understand that. Even testifying, you could still bring certain charges upon people. So I'm like, okay, why not give them immunity from like a charge or two, but still charge them if they're a part of the enterprise, so that people know that they are involved too. But it's like, no, we're gonna completely exonerate them and let them go up there and talk about how we should lock away this person that they helped and enabled along the way, that they helped commit set crimes that we're trying to charge them with. So I'm like, yeah, no, this don't make any sense. I am confused. This doesn't make any sense. Prosecution, help me help you, because I'm very confused by that. Now, when it came to showing his character, that he has the mindset to be like a criminal mind, like a criminal, a boss, stuff like a crime mob. Like I want to be mafia. I could see that. With the energy, how he treats certain people, even the women in his life. I could see that. Well, yeah, I think they did a good job at that. All of the freak off stuff, you just showed that he was a freak. If anything, I don't think you showed anything else when it came to the freak off, showing the tapes, having men that participated, interview. I don't think none of that helped. Like the prosecution was focused on giving us the tea instead of getting him arrested. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. I feel like the prosecution wanted us to know the tea. The prosecution's like, here's the tea. They didn't want to arrest him because if they did, they would have their case would have been stronger with evidence about crimes being committed. Him having sex with people is not a crime if you're not stating him like removing consent. If you're not speaking of a situation to where he's R-wording someone, then why are we talking about this? Like, why? When we should be building a case that shows people that he should not be let go. That he should be tried with these things, and so should the people that helped and enabled him along the way, these people that helped him create this criminal enterprise. That's not what the prosecution was given. The prosecution painted Diddy out to be a monster, which he is, but they weren't charging him with the acts of a monster. They were charging him with the acts of a pimp. The charges that he got found upon was prostitution, transporting prostitutes. That's what pimps do, right? That's what pimps get charged with, right? So when I stated before that when they explained Cassie's relationship with him and let Diddy get up there on let Cassie get up there on that stand, it's like you're not explaining a relationship. You're explaining you being the top and him being the pimp. You're like low key like the top bitch / madam is what it is. That's what it is. Like, it's not giving, this is my man that I love and I've been with. No, it's not giving that at all. Because again, most men that are in a relationship, even if they are like swingers and whatnot, they usually don't their girl out. Their prized possession, they usually leave just that. They'll go swing with a side, or something like that, like how he was doing with you. They usually don't let their wives or fiancés or your girlfriends get humiliated like that. And with the things that these men were doing to you, and how that didn't, it didn't sit well. it didn't sit well. So again, I'm like, this is not a relationship that you. I mean, it is, but not like boy meets girl, and then no, that is not that at all. It's more sort of like boy met girl, boy pimped out girl, girl becomes pimp. That's his pimp hand strong, and then her pimp hand became strong too. Let's not forget her in that voice clip, which I can play right now. I mean, her pimp hand became just as strong as his, and she on that stand talking about some, he forced me to do this, he forced me to do that. Okay, well, if he would have forced you to take a life, would she have been getting immunity from that too? All because he said do it? That's what I said. Where does the accountability come in on Tasha K yesterday? Shout out to Tasha K, and I want Tasha K. We're probably gonna hop over there for a little bit too. But it's like, where does her accountability come in? Where does it come in to where you took the wheel instead of acting like you was just this wounded deer the whole time of the relationship? No, that's how it started. Okay, she met him at 19. She almost 40. She was dealing with him all the way up until her 30s. When does it get to the point? It's not like she started messing with him at 19 and then they broke up at 25 and she's telling a story about what happened between the age of 19 and 25. No. This is a 30-something-year-old woman that was still doing this. So where does your accountability come in? Where does it come in to where you state that you took the wheel, you knew that the stuff that you were doing were wrong, but you continued to do it because of the lifestyle and the things that you were getting out of it? You were not only addicted to drugs, but you were addicted to the lifestyle. When does that come in? Because then when you say that, then people understand and we can move on from it. Instead of people having that constant question, why did you go back? Why did you allow him to do that to you? Why? Because there's too many whys. Because you're not explaining. According to you, you were just pretty much just drug around in that hallway, like in that video, the whole time you were with Diddy. I just don't believe that. I don't. And I'm not saying like, oh, because there were good times. There's always good times, even in DV relationships. There's always good times. Though that's usually what makes it a person contemplate in the first place, because they go back to good things and whether they have children or all type of stuff. So they were used as reasons to stay. Cassie didn't have any of those things. She didn't have no kids with Diddy. She wasn't married to Diddy. She wasn't engaged to Diddy. Like none of that stuff. None of it. What do you keep going back for? What? People want to state her album. She is not the only person that Diddy over musically. Y'all have all the sympathy and empathy for Cassie, but you didn't have other people like Total and Mace and Mary J. Blige and Notorious B.I.G. Like so many other people that he did wrong, that he over with their contracts and whatnot, because he was taught to do that. All of them. They taught black men how to do it to their own people. Just like back in the day, how we were owned slaves, they did the same thing. Mike from Bev Bib, the Vostein, and Boyz II Men, all they did the same thing. They learned, because they were getting robbed, they learned how to rob too. So they did the same thing. I'm going to do to y'all what they doing to me and what they did to us. Lock you in this binding contract to where I'm still going to receive a higher percentage than you will ever see. So TLC and so many others have been through this. She is not the first one, and she is not fucking special. She's not. So you have to give everyone sympathy when it comes to that. And it is a sorry thing what he did to her and her music career. That's sad, okay? But get over it. Get over it. It is what it is. So I doubt it's the music when you're supposed to have done 10 albums and you ain't even got past one. So you already know it's never happening. It's never happening. Still to this day. Because Diddy's gone. Where's her album? Diddy's gone. He's been gone for years. Where's all this astounding music she has? And it's not like she wasn't dropping music. She was collaborating with people like Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, all that stuff. So let's not make it seem like she was this caged animal. No. She was an innocent that was turned. When a good girl goes bad. Yeah. When a good girl goes bad, that is Cassie. She went bad. She did. That doesn't mean that she wasn't a victim. She was. That's just, we get it. But when does it come to the point to where she says, this is when I took the wheel? She makes it seem like she never did. That's the upsetting part. That's what's annoying. Because it's just like, girl, but we're not dumb. We don't feel like you admitting that you were around for fame and fortune makes you a bad person. Not at all. But you lying about it does. That does make you a bad person when people are trying to understand you and understand what you went through so that they can figure out how they're supposed to feel based off how you feel. And you're not even being real about it at all. You're getting up here trying to pander to people that went through different things than you. A woman going through DV is not the same thing as what Cassie went through. It's not. Most women that are going through DV aren't prostitutes. Start there. I mean, but y'all want to compare. What are you comparing? What are you comparing? What are you comparing? If you were in love with a man and he was putting his hands on you, why are you comparing yourself to Cassie? Why? Because you weren't in love with a billionaire. I can pretty much guarantee it. There's not that many on the planet. So you weren't in love with a billionaire. Someone that could give you anything, do anything for that. It's completely different. A lot of y'all was in love with niggas y'all was taking care of. And they was still putting their hands on you. So what are you comparing? What? Some of y'all done hold men down in jail, all of that, they get out still putting their hands on you. You know, all of that, like, some of them y'all have children by, all of, she don't. What are y'all comparing? Every situation is not the same. It isn't. Now again, abuse is abuse, but it's expressed differently. It's not the same. So stop trying to compare. There's nothing to compare here. She went through what she went through, and you went through what you went through. You trying to keep a roof over your head and your children's head? That's why you may have dealt with a lot of that stuff too. That's not her story. She didn't have kids by her abuser. She didn't. What are you comparing? So yeah, I just think that that's weird. I'm just like, yeah, no, this isn't that. Not at all. Most of y'all men ain't bringing other men in the room to use you as a urinal for his pleasure for hours, forcing drugs. Like, a lot of y'all ain't go through none of that because that wasn't a relationship, what she was going through. Not at all. She was prostituting. That's what that was. Those were the literal charges. Prostitution. He was found guilty on 2 of those charges. 1 count against Cassie and 1 count against Jane Doe for prostitution. Not ex-afflicate, no. It's not what that word. Very confusing. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. So I'm just like, And the defense, again, did rip Cassie apart. Those recordings, those text messages, all of those things debunked anything Cassie was about to come forward and say. It did. It did. It, because she could have stated them on her own, like, you can beat the defense, but she didn't know what they had prepared. Cassie and the prosecution didn't know that the defense had those recordings of her. They didn't know that the defense had those text messages of her and what she was stating to do. They didn't know that. So how can you prepare for something that you don't know? By telling the truth. By telling the truth. Because if Cassie would have told the truth and said, after certain engagements and after the encounter to where I feel like he, R-worded me, there was times I did see him after that. That wasn't the last time, I saw him. We did have consensual, STX after that. And I was going through a lot. When you explain those things, then when the defense tries to hit with the, oh, so what about this? What about these messages? Can you read these messages aloud? It's no big deal. Because at that point, we already know. And what's understood don't need to be explained. So yeah, we don't care about her reading the messages at that point and her stating that she went back because we're already informed of that due to her telling the truth. But when you getting up there on a witch hunt, you so focused on taking him down like you're innocent. It's like committing crimes with someone, but then they get up on the stand and only talk about what you did. Like, y'all weren't doing it together. Like, that's what annoys me when it comes to Cassie. Where's your accountability? She didn't take none. That is why the jury, I believe, couldn't find Diddy guilty on those charges. Because Cassie still had a lot of explaining to do. And then with those recordings and whatnot, she looked away. Threatening people's lives, telling a man that you're going to take his life, all of that. This is when the madam becomes the pimp. This is when Cassie becomes the aggressor. So how are you the literal aggressor telling people you're afraid? The prosecution, and so did Cassie. Because you can't be sitting here giving a testimony of this little wounded dog. Oh no, please, no. That's your testimony. But now we hear with the defense, you being the actual aggressor. You were making calls, calling shots. You were doing all of these things for something you said you wanted nothing to do with. Freak offs. You don't want anything to do with this. Not at all. And then you can tell by Cassie's energy, well, her becoming jealous of certain things, her and Diddy, it was more so sexual vibes, not what people get angry about in relationships. Because she was more upset with Kim Porter than she was with any of the other women. She never stated going into detail about being jealous of like a Gina or, any of the other one, any of the other Daphne. She didn't state she didn't care about them because she knew that we all have the same role. I'm trying to get to where like Kim at. I want to be on that level and whatnot. When she met up with Diddy after Kim Porter passed away, because they met up and had like lunch or something like that, I believe she met up because she was happy. In my opinion. I think she was happy. Kim was gone. Felt like this was her chance to replace her. Oh, okay. It's like, oh, she gone? Oh, I need to go meet up with him. Hi, Marcella. Shout out to speak to your girl, Marcella. Hi, sweetheart. So it's like, did you meet up with Diddy because you was like happy? Because you didn't sound too concerned about Kim on that stand. Sounds like you never really liked her. Mm-hmm. Because she was around the whole time you were around. She never left till she passed. So it sounds like you didn't like her much. Is this why the kids don't feel any type of way about what Diddy was doing to you? Because it's weird how they cried when certain things came up, but when that video came up for you, they didn't cry. They didn't cry at all. They didn't drop one tear when they saw him drag you through that hallway. Them twins sat there. She be a bitch. You lucky it was him instead of us. Like, that's what it's given. It's given none of the kids like her. None of them. That's what it gives. That none of them like her. I feel like she only sued Diddy because they was all jealous of Young Miami. I don't think that any of them are jealous of Carisha. Because what's to be jealous of? Carisha stayed loyal to Diddy because she was hoping that he would get free. that he would get out. You know, there was no guarantee that he was going to go to jail. So she stayed loyal for the coin. She's staying loyal for no other reason. Mm-mm. But now Diddy has to move completely different. You know, he can't move the same way now. So he has to switch it up. But I don't see what's there to be jealous of when it comes to Carisha. Carisha is just a willing participant. Carisha is somebody that, you know, got like a hood mentality. You know, as long as I'm getting bread, I'm good. You know, like that's how she give it up. Like, ain't no snitching, ain't no none of this, ain't no none of that. What goes down, goes down. So I don't, I mean, because they could be the same way. They could be the same way. And Cassie was that way, you know, for years. She was that. Where you see Carisha at? On red carpets and stuff like that with Diddy and whatnot, just like Carisha. Carisha and Diddy. Same thing with Cassie. So she was on red carpets with him, you know, all of that stuff. Them acting as if they were dating. Same thing with him and Carisha. They're not dating. Carisha ain't said nothing about Diddy since Diddy has been incarcerated. Not a word. So she's just sitting around waiting, just like the rest of the world. If he get out, then I'm good. That's how I feel like how Carisha looks at it. He got out, I'm Gucci. Do you think Diddy's freak out days are over? No. Diddy is a narcissist. Diddy is the type of individual that feels that he is above the law. So feeling like you're above the law in situations like this don't help. Situations like this makes him continue to feel that he is above the law. Because with these charges, he can make a deal. Like there's a deal that he can make to where he can do less time. They're still going to include the year almost that he already did as some time served. So I'm sure this can maybe even be translated into some type of probation or something like that. Community service fines. I'm sure there's other ways that his attorneys are planning on handling the charges that he did get charged with. Because I could see Diddy being very cocky, wanting to sue like the state for bringing up the lawsuit on him in the first place. You know how Jay-Z sued Tony Busby, although he lost. But like how he did that, I could see Diddy trying to sue, you know, federal court. You know, I could see him trying to do things like that. Shout out to my boo Tasha. Oh, thank you so much, Tasha, for the PayPal. Thank you so much, babes. I love you. Yeah, so I can definitely see. So I don't think his freak out. I think his freak out days are far from over. I think Diddy will super profit off of this situation. I think he will use other people's names like he's been doing in create new names and new business, you know, groups and whatnot. But I don't feel like anything's really going to change with Diddy at all. I don't think that he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to move differently. I think the only way Diddy's going to move differently is a lot of people publicly that he dealt with, like celebrity-wise, I think he's not going to be fucking with. Correct. I think Jay-Z is high on that list, even if Jay-Z was hitting him up in the background. Correct. I feel like you're not going to see Beyonce and Oprah and, you know, T.D. Jakes and people like that. I feel like he ain't going to none of those people. No, not at all. I think he's going to ostracize himself from a lot of these people, the people that have ostracized themselves from him, especially publicly. He will be, yeah, I think that the prosecution has made a bigger monster than ever. Mm-hmm. I think Diddy is going to get out on a rampage. I do. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. Yes, I do not think that Diddy is going to get out and it's going to be like a peaceful thing. I think that Diddy's going to get out and behind the scenes, I think that he is going to be terrorizing. 100%. I have to disagree out there. But I mean, why would he have to move differently? Besides not dealing with the people he was dealing with, it's an addiction. Diddy is addicted to these things. As soon as they release him, he gonna start doing all of that. He gonna do all of that right away. He gonna fall right back into the old lifestyle. People do it immediately. He is no different. He is no different. Now, I think if anything, they just taught him how not to get caught next time. That's it. Now I'm not paying bitches. Now I'm not giving people no money. Now I'm not doing none of this and none of that. Now I'm gonna have you tipped 2 years later in Bitcoin, or something and whatnot. Like he's just gonna change up the flow because now he knows what they're trying to charge him with and what things that he can be charged with can be considered RICO or something. He was sitting there writing all that shit down. Now I gotta do this. Now I gotta do that. Now I gotta make sure this is signed. Now I gotta make sure that I don't. Please, like him lay low. Lay low. He wouldn't even lay low in court. He wouldn't even lay low in court. He telling the sketch artist to soften him up, all of that. That's not the lesson of the mind of somebody that's learning a lesson. Not at all. That's somebody that's planning on getting out, going right back to the same individuals that they were prior. That's what I get from it. Nothing more, nothing less. I get a businessman that's going to use this to his benefit. And on top of that, I feel like the parties, all of that stuff. Now, he may calm down with some of those things. But you best believe when he get out, he's throwing a massive party. Like, massive party. You don't think he's throwing a big-ass party? Oh, yeah. Just to rub it in people's face. The same thing you try to arrest me for. Boom, all in your grill. I think you're gonna have a huge party. Why would he not? Is this not a reason to party? Is this not a reason? I'm sure Baby Love on the phone right now with a party planner. Like, this is a reason to party, and it's also a reason to gloat. Why wouldn't he? He's a narcissist, so he's gonna do just that. He's gonna get out and gloat. I told yous. A lot of I told yous. You never give a narcissist that. You never give a narcissist the opportunity to be right. Never. They got the photos. Right, probably in the Hamptons. Like, yeah, this is a definite reason to party. This is a definite reason to make music. All of that. He is going to super profit. And people are going to support him now more than ever. They have martyred him, one of the black men that has been, like, witch hunted. Keeping it real. That this is what people are, what most of the black community, men, is looking at this as, is like them just trying to take another black man down. This is a prime example. This is like a real example of that. Instead of this just being said because the person's black. No, this is that. This is. Because the prosecution, again, this was a weak case. They should have took Cassie's information and whatnot, and they should have let some more strong people come forward, strong witnesses come forward, and then try to charge him. Then raid him, all of that stuff. Like, I still feel that the reason Diddy got raided and they did all of this is because they wanted to take away Diddy's power to be able to blackmail. That's how I feel. I do. I think that they raided Diddy's homes and they did this trial to put this case and this After King and RICO case against him because they got tired of Diddy people. And I believe it started with Diageo. I believe the company Diageo, in my opinion, my theory, is that this is a huge company, billion-dollar company, and with Diddy trying to come after them with the lawsuit is where it started. And then I think Diddy started to make other threats. Like, oh, well, I got this person on tape and that person on tape. I got the CEO doing this and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like they're like, oh, okay. You want to play those games? That's how you want to play? Oh, okay. And then got it so that Cassie came forth that lawsuit. They used that lawsuit and as a reason to be able to go and raid him and take all the stuff that they needed to, with Diddy having evidence and proof on other celebrities and other higher-ups like the Donald Trumps and, people like that allegedly. And they got tired of him trying to use it as blackmail to get his way with certain people. So let's go get it. Let's go make it so that he can't do that no more. And this is why I believe that he was freed. Why the prosecution set up a weaker case towards him because the plan was truly never for him to go to prison. The plan was to get all of his, you know, collateral and evidence that he has against people, all of the damaging things that he has. Let's go get all that. Because now he's left powerless with that, with being able to control and govern how some of the higher ups are moving. Now he don't have any of that anymore. He don't have any of that collateral to be able to hold against them. Now it's Diddy against the world. So if he succeeds now, it's because of him. But if he fails, it ain't nobody there that would normally have his back and pull him up when he's about to drown. He don't have any of that type of protection anymore. If he commits a crime or anything like that, you better hope you gained enough money again to be able to pay for those lawyers and stuff and whatnot, try to help you get off. But other than that, you're on your own. And I think that was the whole point. I don't think it was ever for him to be locked up for the rest of his life on some Robert Sylvester. No, they can still profit off of Diddy, not Robert. That's why they let him go. They wanted Robert gone. Robert was a liability. Diddy and his blackmail was, but other than that, he can be controlled. So it's like, now we got to get it so that we can control him again, because like he's getting beyond his bridges. You know, for some reason, you know, he got his nose and shit over there in the air. Like, we won't go over there and knock it out of it. So show him. A favor was called in, and a favor, and a favor, and a favor, and a favor after that. And now we're here. Now we're here. He gets charged on the lesser charges. No federal RICO charges have been, you know, placed on him. He's basically free to go until sentencing. And I don't see him getting the full 10 years, because it seems as if the judge, Judge Summeranian, whatever, is going to be the one doing the sentencing. It seems like he'll be pretty light on him. Now, I don't know if they're putting someone else, another judge, in charge of the sentencing. As of now, I believe it's Summeranian. I believe that's how you say his name. So I believe it's up to him with the sentencing part. So, and those charges, I believe each charge carries 5 years. So he's facing up to 10 years. Is that what it was? Or is it something else? Let me look. I believe each charge carried 5 years. So he was facing up to like 10 years maximum, I think. His images were ruined permanently. But about what though? How was? Because I mean, like, I get that some people aren't that freaky, but he a freak. He a freak. I don't see like how his image is like ruined. I don't. I feel that in some ways, Diddy got more sympathy for the video of Cassie in the hallway than Cassie got. Honestly. In my opinion. I feel like he got more sympathy and empathy than Cassie did. So I don't really see how his image is ruined, besides he likes to sleep with a whole bunch of women. It looks as if he still does like to sleep with men too. And he likes to watch women sleep with men. I don't see how that's like career ruining. Not in the career he in. Now if he was like a doctor or like a lawyer, something extremely professional, senator, something like that, I could see the image being ruined. But he a partier. He a hip-hop mogul. That's what they do. They party, they hire girls, all that stuff, they do that. It's like comes with the to be famous starter pack money, some booze, and jewelry. So it's like expected. He got charged with Ocean transporting them. It's not that big a deal. On paper, it's not. That's like a daily crime of white men. Fact. That's like a daily crime. Correct. And he a black man, so the majority of black women will still support them, even if they have an excuse. Chris Brown just had a sold out show. And it's okay that he had a sold out show because Rihanna hit him first. I'm just saying. Diddy getting out of jail, and if he go on tour, he will have sold out shows because Cassie took his phone. Correct. No, now, when it comes to public opinion, black women support these men. But when it comes to financially, it's white people. Correct. When Chris Brown, people like to have sold out shows, white people. Yeah. White people don't care nothing about black women being beat on to it. Well, maybe she fucking should have got out of his Lamborghini when, he told her to get on. But she stayed in, so he had to do what he had to do, But I like the song Residual. I like it. See, they don't care. Now, financially, white people keep them rich. Not us. You go look at a Chris Brown sold out show right now. Whites. Whites. Yeah. You go look at a Beyonce sold out show right now. White people. Yes, there are black people in attendance. Absolutely. Correct. But overall, white people are here. I know. I was at Renaissance. Correct. It was a few of my people up there. But overall, excuse me, Sarah, Becky, can you get out the... Yeah. Correct. White people. So yeah, when it comes to these black artists, the majority of them are being supported by white people. Latino people. We be there. But not like that. Not like that. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. Do you know you were so racist? Probably. I don't know. What do you know? Yes. So let's get into these charges. So it says, okay, Diddy Combs was acquitted of racketeering and SCX African charges today and was found guilty on 2 lesser charges of transportation of former girlfriends for prostitution. Correct. The verdict is seen as the victory for Combs, who was cleared of the most serious charges against him, which were the ones that carried up to a life sentence. His defense team opted not to call witnesses before arresting, which, again, like I said, that was smart. The judge is yet to decide if Combs will be released pending sentencing. So, again, as of right now, still has not been decided if he is going to be released. But I can see the judge releasing him, because at this point, those charges, and they can be lessened. So, because there's arguments that his attorneys could still fight and whatnot. So, I don't see any reason, unless the judge wants to give him a bond, because they denied the bond before. But now, since he's not being charged with the RICO charges, I really don't see what's the point of having him have a bond at all. They could just you could just go ahead and go. We'll see you back here during sentencing. I don't think he'll need a bond or an ankle monitor or anything for that, because the charges that he's facing aren't scary. They're not scary charges. So people get charged with those every day. Shine the black community through Mr. Combs in front of the bus without a tangible receipt. Self-hate is real in our community. I wouldn't say that. I think the black community threw Diddy under the bus because Diddy is not for us. Um, I think you can't have a record label full of people that look like us and then do what you did to them and look at how like their lives were Black Rob and so many other people that suffered and how so many of those artists still suffer to this day, you know, the Freddie P's and so many other people that came from Bad Boy, that have been super suffering. We watched with Biggie Smalls, his career, his family, how his even children were done wrong when all of the profits from after that man passed away, his family should have been benefiting off of. But instead, you know, the Justins and the Christians and the twins and the baby loves and all of them got to reap benefits that didn't belong to them at all whatsoever. So he's not for us. And the community sees that. We know who rock with us and we know who don't. Diddy don't rock with us. It's all fake love. All Diddy cares about is sitting down in those meetings, figuring out how to target black people to spend more of their money. That's all we are to him, are dollar signs. We are not actual people. Like, he don't view us that way. So I think the black community, the majority of them, their mind was already made up when it came to him. I do, and I think for good reason. So even with the people that are coming into the situation that were biased and not liking him and wanting him to go to jail, I didn't blame any of them. I'm just like, yeah, I don't blame you. You know, he has done a lot, and karma comes in different coats, colors, ways. So yeah, he may not have went to jail for having something to do with Tupac Shakur passing away. He may not have went to jail from possibly having something to do with the Notorious B.I.G. passing away. But if they can get him on this, it's still looked at as like a victory. Um, so to hear any charge coming up on him at all, I would understand the black community being like, he threw us away. So who are we to stand for someone that doesn't stand for us? And that's what that were. So I don't feel like it's throwing anybody under the bus. He threw us under the bus. And on that bus was white people. He threw us under the bus. He drove the community over and was on a bus full of white people. The Liar Cohens and the Clive Davises and, you know, all of those people. That's how I feel. The Christina Carams and all that. He drove over the black community with a bus full of white people. You know. So I don't blame them for feeling like he needs to go down, and it's justifiable. It's justifiable. You can't go around doing all this hell and giving people hell for this long and expecting people to just keep dealing with it. You know, his day has not come yet, but it will. His day will come. And it's getting closer and closer and closer. And he's so narcissistic because the person was like, oh, he's gonna change, he's gonna lay low. Don't you think he would have did that after the first trial? This is the second one. He ain't lay low after that one. Why would he lay low after this one? He got off before. He popped multiple people in the bar. All of that. He's gotten off. You would think he'd chill. Mm-mm. When you feel above the law, this is what you do. That's how you act. And he still feels that way. So I'm sure it's a happy day for Diddy, but it's a very sad day for the people that he did a lot of injustices to. And Cassie, baby, I'm gonna need you to run. I'm gonna need you to get out of here as soon as possible. Okay? Aubrey O'Day, especially you, girl. I hope he gets you. God, I cannot stand her. I hope he gets you, your lying ass. I hope he gets you, girl. Or rather, it's blocking you out of the celebrity world, entertainment world, so that won't nobody deal with blacklisting you, you know, something like that. He gonna get you, girl. He absolutely is. And D Woods, love her down. Love her down. I don't like Aubrey. I cannot stand a person that will scream to the mountaintop that the person is doing wrong. They're so this, they're so that. And then when it's time to show and prove, they fall silent. I cannot stand those people. I cannot. Drives me up a wall when people do that. Because I'm not about to sit here diddy. And then I get the opportunity, just like yesterday, Sasha came like, oh, come up here, let me know how you feel about Diddy. You've been doing that. I let people know exactly how I feel. I'm not quiet now. Why would I be quiet? Like, no, this is time to scream. You know? Like, ugh. But then she gets the opportunity to come testify, all of that stuff. Oh, no, I don't want to. But you all on TMZ, places like that, being interviewed, like, to me, that's trash. That is literal trash. So, yeah, I don't have time for that. That's why I don't like Aubrey. Like, I just don't. This was your time to speak. You could have helped him get convicted on some things if you saw some RICO. If you saw things that involved these charges, you could have helped. You didn't. You sat back like the wimp that you are and watched other people in hopes that they would do a job you couldn't. You felt like you couldn't do. I'm going to sit back and just hope and pray that they have enough evidence and that they have enough witnesses, although I can be one myself, that they have a bunch of witnesses and whatnot. That, that's why regardless of Don going up there and getting shredded, I still appreciate Don for getting up there. It took a lot of courage, took a lot of guts to get up there and do that. Because clearly Aubrey ain't got none of them. She doesn't have any of them. And she's been going on way too long complaining about somebody, doing things to people, hurting and harming, stealing, all type of stuff. Embezzling, all type of stuff. And now you have the opportunity to express that. Now you have the opportunity to help not only you, but other people get justice. And now look around everybody on mute. I applaud Dawn. Rather she stepped up there or not. You got up there. That's all that matters, Dawn. So shout out to you, sweetie. You're the only one I hope that good comes to. Because I do feel like he did a lot to her. So I love Dawn. And I want the best for her. I would say the same thing about Aubrey. If Aubrey did the right thing, I would say the same thing. I don't have anything negative to say about D Woods because D Woods doesn't have any of these like allegations against Diddy. She was just basically saying like how he was a mean, kind of spirit. She wasn't coming forward talking about I saw this and I saw that and nothing. She didn't say none of that stuff. She was just saying like, I could see these things. Like I ain't never saw none of the stuff they talking about. But I could see it. Based off how he was, I could see it. That's how she was. So, I don't have a issue with D Woods, but I don't think that she should be scared of retaliation because if you aren't scared to say what you're going to say, then you shouldn't be scared of a person responding to what you're going to say. If you don't want to be responded to, then you don't say anything. Because she could have fell back. She didn't have to say nothing. Okay. But we don't want Tyler Perry. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I want to talk about Diddy. Okay, yeah. So right here it says Combs has denied all allegations. So yeah, we back. 50 Cent trolling Diddy already. Diddy family returns to the courthouse. Okay, so let's put that back. Aubrey O'Day, former member of Group Down Can, reacted to Diddy's verdict this morning with just one word. The longtime critic of Combs posted an Instagram story in which she reacted to each count as it was read on the news, noting he was not guilty on the top counts. Aubrey O'Day wrote over the post with just one word. Wow. Aubrey says, this makes me physically ill, she said. She later added that she felt like she was going to vomit. O'Day also seems to express sympathy for Ventura, saying Cassie must feel horrible. No, Cassie must be scared to death. Y'all, he talks live. She said, what's T-Shot? I said, sorry about this. Huh? On Tasha's live? Oh, I should just go over there. I'm gonna go over there. Okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna go over there. Please hit the like. We'll be back. I'll come back over here. I completely forgot to go over there. I completely forgot. The verdict just came out. So, okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna go run over to Tasha K. Y'all can meet me over there, okay? I'm gonna go run over there.